alongside KP working together for this team. So I think this is a good place to get started. You've made it all the way to the grand finals, but you can't stop here. $6,000 for first place, $3,000 for second, and we'll get to see who takes it home here in just a moment.
Yeah, well, we will have to take a peek. I think another thing that I didn't fully mention was that, I mean, for Shopify, right, they do have that new coaching staff, but they're like, I think sufficient even without it. Like, KP is that kind of IGL, does a lot to set up the strats for this team, but let's talk about the round at hand, because Diana is working her way in down mid here, and KP on the other side, the Viper wall could go so huge. No one's watching. One for KP, looking for a little bit more. It's just Shopify completely coming out on top.
And the flash goes wide. It doesn't matter as the shots continue to land. Now it's all up to one lone player here, and it's the lurking Cath able to find that first frag, and not too bad when you're playing that Reyna. Unfortunately, not healthy enough to continue fighting forward. Han will finally sit her down, and Shopify, they battle out strong here in the pistol. They're going to secure that one 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and I think what I was trying to say, I lost my point for a second, but it's Diana playing on this map, and the two maps that Shopify 13-1 was when Diana was playing. She's such a strong fragger for this team. I love when we get her in the server, because it is the 6-player roster. We get that switch up a lot, and Diana doesn't get every single map, so that's exciting for me. And this is also one of the few maps they run both Diana and Lori. Previously, when they only had 5 before the KP days, this was the double duelist duo, right? They had this great synergy. I loved watching them on it, and now we get to see it again. We get to see that Lori Jet. It feels like the old Moon Raccoon days, and I'm really here for it. With the superior arms, we'll have to see if they can convert this nice and clean, and thus far looking likely. Han to open it up onto Emily.
And I like this play as well. They open up the door. Oh, but it backfires there as both duelists go down, so that dynamic duo you're speaking about will eventually fall. Han still holding it down, making sure that this shouldn't be a thrifty. Going the way of TSM's Leah, the last one standing. Shock dart right at her feet, and well, some Spectre fire right behind it. Han feeling pretty good in this one. A couple of multi-kills. Nice and early as Shopify will find their second.
Now that they will. It got a little risky for a second there. Double entry was picked up with some of that utility, but it's just eco damage at the end of the day. No harm, no foul. And even better was that Lori was just bonusing onto a pistol. She can have an operator in this round if she wants one, but looks like she is gonna, oh no, she's going for it. Glass cannon up to work with. For the side of TSM, I want to see how this attack is looking. A lot of teams on Breeze love leaning into that default, because when you're on that defensive side, pushing is so powerful. Map control can be pretty tough to claim on this map as a defender, and with such long rotations, you really have to be playing that info game. So I love the default here, but the long rotations also mean the kits can work well, and that might be what they're looking for. Spike on the back of Dough Donut, just holding down for a Hall's pushes. There's a lot of pressure in towards that.
And so far, we haven't seen the Viper too incredibly tested. It's just been that same wall going out towards the A side, cutting the side off in half, allowing for a plant. And at the very least, you've already netted some extra credits. You've also got the 6th player on your team if you're TSM, and that player being the clock here. Shopify, all 5 live, all 10, I should say, alive as they start to work on the retake. The frags start to swing on through. Diana and Athena able to hop on, so 1-for-1 thus far as that Lear will fall. Dodo looks to get aggressive on the opposite side of the screen, goes down. The shots won't land. It's Diana and Han again to lock down the A side, put the numbers even. A 2v2 situation, make it a 1v2, and what can we get done as Emily dashes away? Lori, the last one standing, is going to tap onto the spike. This was the bonus round plus up for Shopify, and it's looking to fall by the wayside. Lori can't escape. No way out as TSM secure their first.
Well, at least for Shopify, that off isn't recovered, and it's good eco damage into TSM. Only one player will live, but I like that from TSM. Keep things nice and simple. You had that late round flank from Athena if things got dicey, so they keep it relatively good. Lori, I think a teammate's likely going to be buying that op on over for her. KP taking that sacrifice, and I love that from KP, right? You know how strong Lori is on this weapon. Enable your team, set them up for success, allow her to do her thing, and that they will. Another kind of interesting fact about TSM is Cath is still calling for this squad. Zoe was calling for a period, then Cath picked it up back up. Now Zoe's gone, and it's Cath still calling on this duel. So not a lot of people do that. I think it maybe like Screwface is one, but it's always interesting. It's a very tough job when you're doing the both. And for Cath, she'll receive a pretty tough dink early on here by Panini.
And KP tossing over that operator. Unfortunately stuck on just the Sheriff. Oh, nice tags through the wall there. Diana comes up huge. And I mean, it's been the Diana and Han show, right? You have that owl drone to get that information. Diana to close out the kill. Now TSM on the back foot. And unfortunately for Kath, not able to heal up. Hunter's Fury going to be queued up here. Han with the multi-kills has the ult online nice and early. As Kath finds one with the Guardian, Laurie's able to trade it back. So it's still a player advantage for Shopify Rebellion as that spike goes down. Maybe they have nowhere to go. There's the Viper's pit. Leah narrowly escaping death, but only for a moment, leaves it all up to the Viper. There was so much pressure on just the pick alone. And now here in this round to tie things up, Dodo's able to find two, needs to go for one more. Playing on the outside. Han gonna swing, Han gonna fall. It's a clutch for TSM to tie things up.
So well played. Out of Donut there, the new addition, the trial for the squad, going huge. And I like what we saw initially there, right there. They're very privy of the possibility of a mid push, so they shut down KP early. Of course, she only had that Sheriff, so it's not a huge deal for Shopify, but then you get this pit up, and it's just the dance. Donut playing it perfectly. We'll be able to tie those odds. But again, it's another rough round. Lots of players going to stay on rough armor, rougher buys here. So as long as Shopify Rebellion is keeping the damage up here, they'll be chilling.
Scout destroyed.
Now the op on the attacking side is going to be interesting to see if there's any value to be found. It sounds like there's a duel going on up inside of the halls there, but not much to be found. Well, I guess some damage actually traded onto Han, so a bit worse for wear on the Sova, forced to back away and give up that position as you make some noise out towards A, you rotate over towards B, and Diana just keeps on keeping on. I mean, this is exactly why you have this player here on the roster doing her job and doing it so darn well. TSM now down a player.
And look at this, they already have full information. Seeker's pop reveals there's three here, and Han just tapping from range. KP as well, dishing out some damage, but they tuck in for the moment. Shock darts going wide, so they have the sight, but there's really no room to breathe. They're gonna have to isolate these duels, and Shopify giving nothing away for free.
And this is such a scary spot as Leah is able to find two. Nice little wall bang onto Han. The sprint on Diana, so the transfer is perfect. Now it leaves it all up to KP, who is unable to retrieve a weapon. Still a Sheriff in hand, so it was looking good for a second for Shopify, but TSM gonna reel it in. Now the spike will go down, and KP in a tough spot. 30 health and a dream, looking to do some damage, maybe strip away the operators. The Empress swings the corner. It's Kath on top, and TSM to 3, but Mimi in that round, that kind of the placebo starts to kick in where you say, wow, okay, these girls are demons with the Sheriffs. Things start to get a whole lot scarier, right? Your spray starts to get a little shaky typically, but TSM, they really reeled it in there to close it out.
Yeah, they really do. I like that they keep it dry there, right? They just pop up that Viper wall. They're not greeting for utility. They're not greeting to get that spike down because they know they still haven't made it on the clock. Thanks. They can wait for Shopify to overpeak, to make the mistakes, and that Shopify does. The superior arms at range generally coming out on top. It's 3-0, but get another shot at Shopify on weapons. Up for Emily, though, holding towards Halls, and Han narrowly catching a shot, but now she's aware of this possession.
And so much, I guess, pressure here on Halls. Han gonna get caught out there. Owl drone in hand. No, this is not a butterfly. It's actually Kath right in front of you, finding a frag. So Shopify now down a player early in this one, but Diana trades it back. And if it isn't a Diana show, I don't know what it is. Is Dodo Nut able to hop on the board for one, but the flank is still coming in huge, dismissing it away. Diana stays alive. A huge flank from Shopify nets another kill. The flash goes through the Viper. Now completely crunched here inside of A main. The shots are on target. Diana good for 3. Leaves it all up to the Killjoy in Athena. And unfortunately, the spike is not in hand. A 1v3 situation, and an operator for Diana nets a 4K on the round to tie us up.
That got pretty risky in towards Halls there with the drone. Finding that death early on could have gone astray because that was a lot of space gain, but thankfully they have Diana there. 11-4, it's just the Diana go kill show right now for Shopify Rebellion. But another thing that I didn't notice initially was that Diana, besides just finding the frags, she did more in way of supportive utility there because there was a double push down mid. She threw her Lear up from mid in towards Halls to support her Sova, which I think is pretty cool because that Lear does go through walls, but I oftentimes see Reyna's not really using it that creatively. So I like to see that, but like we were chatting about, TSM's economy has kind of been kept accountable. So looking pretty rough here. Some Sheriffs. Bladestorm up for Emily, though. Trying to get that, find some impact. It's Panini holding down the fort. Ooh, spray just missing.
Poison's off.
Yeah, finds a bit of damage. Nice tag there. Is going to force Panini away for now as Emily storms onto the side, blades in hand. An easy plant onto the B side, but we've seen this before. The 5v5 retake this time over towards that B side is Diana. Going to be heard, romping and stomping. Alarmbot can give away information as well. Expecting a push, but unfortunately not finding it. That's another cruncher. Emily able to find one with the knives. Leia Panda going to go wide on the Hunter. Shuri, the thrifty round, looking good for TSM as they've managed to purchase all that they could and now have a 2-player lead. KP's able to trade one back. That's Cat. That was low HP. KP finds another. Now it's all up to Panini here, who was forced away. Will now try and remount her throne here on the site, but is running out of time. No more blades to worry about, but still 2 players as the ring around the Rosie ensues. It's 13 health, and either way, TSM will walk away with the round, but it's Panini with the frags.
Oh, Shopify really fumbling the bag there on the anti-eco. I think they just gave a little bit too much respect to the pistols, because the only way those guns get dangerous is if they get tucked in. If they find themselves into close range where they can just stall for that time. That's exactly what happened. And I saw why they backed up, because they had that double flank going. Diana took first contact, baited for KP to come, but then KP was just a little bit too late to the party, so Diana died untraded, and KP, well, it was no longer a flank. It was just a heroic position, and well, she got some frags. Time was too little, too late. 3-4, TSM proving themselves pretty strong on their opponent's map pick thus far, but Shopify, they're keeping the speed up. They're keeping the pressure up as it's a push down mid. Emily will find that out and capitalize. Diana down. Great pick.
Grounded.
Lori's able to grab one back there. Diana falling early, but Lori going to pick up and strap on the Diana shoes, the fragging shoes, so laced up now as the Seekers go through. Looking for more information, and, well, Lori's able to find more frags. Athena will be the next to fall, and there is a Viper's Pit to work with, but unfortunately, there's no ground covered. TSM, honestly, just stuck inside their spawn for now, slowly creeping up towards that B site, but they're going to be met by Panini's Viper's Pit. It's a tough spot to be. It's a 3v4, so it's only a 1-player advantage for Shopify Rebellion, but TSM just completely thwarted. Not too sure where they should end up here. They do still have heaps of Viper utility to send out, and I would imagine comes out right here on the A site.
This is the right call. Working towards A. I'm pretty sure that Lori only has that. No, she actually did recover a Vandal, so something to work with for her, but she has to be aware now. Rotates will start to come in, but still very late. Spike likely to come down, but KP finds a frag on the entry. Now Dodo Nut really has to make herself a hero. Leah Panda to help out, though, all within the pit.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, man, just the spray through the pit there. It's, you get onto the site, which is half the battle, but then trying to sneak away so you don't get sprayed down. There's only so many places you can be as Dodo plays on the outside. This could actually be huge. They're all 1 HP except for one inside the pit. The molly goes through. Dodo dancing around, but the swing is there, and it's KP to close us out. Shopify will tie us up once more.
4-4 on the scoreline. Dude, this game is so scrappy. It's just thrifty round for thrifty round. The superior buys normally not netting too much, and Shopify, they lost Diana early on there on that aggressive push towards mid, but it did so much for them because it found that information. It put the pressure on TSM immediately. They're not giving room for their opponents to breathe, and I love that because playing defense on Breeze, when you just roll over, when you play slow, it really gets rough, and I feel like we've seen some teams struggle with this. Like Gen G, they were running a double Sentinel comp in the last VCG, and I wasn't a fan of it because I feel like you really have to play around this map control, and when you turtle up, it can be hard to do so. So Shopify, I'm digging the way they're playing this right now. They just really have to button down when they have the rifles.
And as for TSM, they really have nothing to lose here, only on the Sheriffs. Gonna get aggressive is Lori and KP. The Panda unfortunately gonna get caught out as the site's been taken. The spike will go down, but it's all about how you hold the site at this point. As the flashes go through, Lori is gonna be topped off. Unfortunately, armorless as Dodo Nut has fallen on this site. The first one on the site to go down as the clock is ticking. Shopify are going to have to send something. It's Emily to find a kill, but it's traded right back. Lori able to come back through A main, look to attack the site, and there it is. Everybody washed away from TSM. Shopify, been a bit, but they're going to grab themselves a lead.
Yeah, they'll pull things back to their advantage. Finally, a rifle round that is going like the correct direction, and I just think that it was perfect that they were able to just hunker down together, right? No one was over pushing, no one was screening frags in that round, because previously, like, I love the aggression. I'll start off with that, but previously, once they had the rifles, they were still going for that, even against the eco, and that just puts you in a rough spot. One missed shot, that gives your opponent a rifle, and well, that, oh no. What is going on with the timer? What the timer doing? What the heck?
What the timer doing? Okay, we going back in time. What's happening is TSM is saying, hey, we know how to play that thrifty round better. We're going to run it back and then play round 9 over again, if that's okay with you. So opting out of a tactical pause and into a redo on the round.
Ah, perfect. It's, I don't know. I feel like I've heard that story before. I don't know. Maybe the, like 40% of the players weren't in a good position. We're waiting for this to get fixed, so you might hop back to our faces for a moment. But for TSM, I think they're doing just fine right now. Breeze, I think it's a map that can swing either way, but as long as you're just like trading rounds back and forth on that attacker side, I think you're looking good. They haven't actually put a lot of emphasis in towards mid. It's mostly just these hard executes off the Viper wall, and I don't hate it because they just play their default for a second, get a little pressure on, get a little info, and just hard commit and exact. And Shopify's been struggling with these retakes, even when it's against the lesser arms.
Yeah, and it's also the composition for TSM probably leans a bit stronger on the defense because you have that killjoy. So in terms of buying time or stealing away some spaces, it sounds like we're hopping right back on into the game. So that tactical timeout has been fixed, but yeah, I think this composition specifically maybe does a bit better. I don't think the killjoy's been able to get as much value as you would have hoped for here on the attacking side, but it's a lockdown available. It's an Empress or Cath, which we obviously know can be strong. And I've been having a hard time getting a read on Breeze because I haven't really seen it too much in competitive play. And I feel like I want to say it's attacker sided, but that feels because of pugs, and usually in pugs it's easier to attack as a squad. So I feel like my opinion on the map is still skewed for that reason. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, if we go 6-6 at the half, then we still don't know, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think. I think it would probably lean attacker side. Like, we generally say Haven leans attacker side, but it's a slim margin. I think when we talk about attacker sided maps, it's like maps where the defenders have a really long rotation. And they do on this. It's not like Ascent where you just run through spawn, you're instantly at that other side. It's not like Bind where you have teleporters to work with. So I think it's a lot easier to work with because you can find those open sites more times than not, and TSM has found that a good few times here, right? I think about that round where Dodonut was able to just walk up B, plop down her pit, and find that 1v3. Like, the open space works well for individualistic plays, and sometimes that is what that attacker side needs. Is TSM again working things slowly here, but they have a lot of space gained.
Hunter Shuri gonna try and deny the push here. Han not able to find too much. Couple of kills traded on the site, and it has been taken. Oh, Lori's able to find one from downtown there. The operator from Nest able to find that frag on Talia. Puts a spike in an awkward spot. It has since been picked up, and Diana was causing some ruckus out towards main. Used the dismiss to assume that position, but unfortunately cut out by the flanker. Now with 3v3 as that spike goes down. Shots to the wall. Lori's not able to find it. Sheriff in hand now. Snakebite goes through. The Empress dethroned, and Lori is having her way here on the site. The spike to be defused. The cloudburst to go on through. KP once more. The last frag on the round, and Shopify have now grown their lead to 2.
Right here.
Get to take a look at the replay here. Lori having a huge round. I mean, it would have been nice to see the shot through the wall on that tag. I think it was Dodo there who got tagged out by the recon bolt. But either way, Lori gets it done, and the impact on the frags as a whole. Diana is up there, but Lori slowly creeping her way on up, and KP just finding those frags there right at the end of rounds to be able to secure things. And now TSM 6-6 is still on the board. I'm not too sure for how much longer they find themselves once more on an eco round. Drone gonna get some information. Unfortunately, didn't have a tag available. Flash for flash we go, but it's Emily out on top. KP now down as Han gonna go into the drone, and it's looking like a winnable round here for TSM. They had the lesser arc, but now they got a couple of weapons to work with. One gonna be stripped away as the operator back in hand for Lori. Only 70 health and no way to heal as that Sky has been taken down. Diana once more on the flank, just being an absolute problem here for TSM. 3 kills swinging on through as Kath finds one, a 1v2 situation. Kath, the last one standing. Unfortunately, it's the dynamic duo here in Shopify as the Sheriff Shop lands
No way.
for another. Diana may be able to do it, and there it is, a 4K on the round. Diana goes huge.
Dude, just hop in Diana's backpack for a moment, because this girl is going insane in this map. 17 and 8 across the board, and her impact almost solely winning that round for Shopify. The aggression in towards A main, so successful. Now we push ourselves into the final round of the half here. For Shopify, I mean, they could really be set up for an 8-4. Money's looking good. Another op in Lori's hands, and I don't know. I feel like the op for Lori, it's been a little inconsistent, but when she really gets it going, it can be so powerful. Finding these entries on a map like Breeze really can be fantastic. Bladestorm up. TSM looking quick.
Trying to take it fast, and I mean, they've been able to assume the sites fairly easy. It's been holding them afterwards that's been a problem, and that 6-6 that we talked about slowly slipping away, so maybe defender sided at the very least. Here in this matchup, KP goes through. Kath looks away. No, looks back in perfect timing as KP falls. It doesn't work. The guiding light trick, unfortunately, sniffed out. Now KP taken down early in this round. It spelled trouble here for Shopify.
Yeah, it really could. Still, TSM in a good position. It's only Diana holding in towards this A site, but rotate should be quick from the halls. Drone does go forward, trying to clear some space for Leah. Does she catch Diana? Absolutely, but Diana fells her teammate. Emily down. Now a dart forward to support. She can just keep fighting this, sustaining utility. Another shot dismissed away. Diana going huge. Athena does deny it in the end, so 3 versus 3, but there's no Viper utility for TSM to speak of. They just have to take these duels, and it's an operator up against him. Lori for the first. Now very tough spot here. Leah tucked in, but a flank's underway. Flank could go huge here. Kath has the perfect... Oh, no. Lori spotted her. Now she has to just fight. It's head on, and the spam not quite working. Cloudburst keeps her at bay. Leah Panda for 1. Heal available. Now it's all on to Kath. Then it's it, not Han. For a double. It's Shopify with 8. Pulling ahead by 4 in that half.
And that, I mean, that was very close for Kath. It was almost perfect timing to swing around on that flank, get spotted out, but then gets an assist. So although low health, was able to use a Devour to try and heal up, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to grab that kill before, obviously, Lori swings around with the operator there. But either way, close only goes so far as, like you said, maybe 8-4, and we get to see just how defender-sided this map is, or if that Killjoy is actually going to be a problem from the Shopify squad, right? So the fast takes seem to be working. It got them onto the sites for TSM. It does get a little harder to do that because the Killjoy. So I'm wondering if, if the play is to go fast like Sonic speed here for Shopify Rebellion, it should be stunted just a bit.
Should be, but look at the setup here. It's more information leaning than stopping anything. That turret providing a little bit of cover, and Diana fully extending up behind this wall. Athena might not be ready.
Lear queued up. Will be sent out. Oh, no way. Leah through the smoke to find one. Athena hops on the board as well. So TSM with a player lead. Make it 2 here as Dodo going to find a frag. The turret.
What?
Even getting some love there. Now Han, unfortunately, in a tough spot. 50 health. Needs to just start boogieing over towards the sights. And it's Dodo Nut to find the last frag. The pistol round will swing the way of TSM.
I like the aggression, right? Extend up behind that Viper wall, try and get something done, but they really only get 1 off of it. Then the trades instantly come through. That space is retaken from TSM. They can just crunch the site, and unfortunately for the remaining player there, in way of Han, her flank was too little, too late. This is really the road forward for TSM to build us to tie dodge. You win that pistol, now you have money to convert into 6, but the issue is Shopify, they're forcing. 4 Spectres, a classic up for Diana. That's really all she can buy. So we'll have to see if they can get it done. TSM still playing a bit of a default spread, but there's a new setup from the Killjoy this time. I mean, to stop that plant with a molly.
And that pistol round is so difficult, right? With the changes to everything, or I guess some Killjoys opt out of armor and into the utility, and we saw the exact opposite, which obviously was the right play. TSM ended up winning the round, but that's why we saw no nanoswarms in the last, and because the utility is quite expensive, it looks like only one nanoswarm here, and this one is the Guardian from Cath. With a net one kill, but the Devour just not there for long enough, so only 32 health as Cath walks away. It's a player advantage, but a rough one walking around. Cath will be limping here on the A site.
Yeah, Shopify cut us for a moment. Now they're just heading on in. Cath just threw the smoke, chips away in the nanoswarm, finds Diana, the utility, invaluable, and this force buy is dwindled down to practically nothing. It's a 2 versus 5. They still have the spike. There's time to rotate, but I mean, they really need picks, and it's just not happening. Hana 1 versus 5. She finds 2. Well, that'll be all. TSM deny the force, and now this really spins Shopify economy into a weird place.
Yeah, that stings there to lose that round in the way that you did. You don't do as much damage as you hoped for, and then it was that Killjoy setup. It was Cath able to find not only the first frag, but walking away with 30 health and then finding another. And I didn't see, I'm pretty sure it was through the toxic screen. I think Shopify are throwing a really interesting toxic screen across the site. It's not that same one over the right pyramid. It's more over that left pyramid, and it feels like it leaves a whole lot more room to be able to play with for TSM. So either way, Cath finding huge kills, make it another. Is this Guardian just getting so much value, nerfed in price, but not in damage? As a kill traded back, but a weapon too far to retrieve, leaves us in a 4v4 situation.
Really nothing to work with right now for Shopify. If they head towards B, Dono is anchoring well there. You see her just working this jiggle. At least she has no utility to work with, so the fights will have to be dry. But again, superior odds, superior arms, all with TSM, and it's a Marshall. Perfect range to find the weapon. Shopify, I mean, they have Seekers here. I doubt they'll want to commit. Spike getting planted, the final goal, and actually Seekers do come out, so they're all in on this B exec.
Looking to hit it nice and quick as the Viper utility goes up. And speaking of Viper, it's Dodo Nut to find that frag on her counterpart in Panini. So it's another player down for Shopify. But Diana still able to find the frags there. AP with the Trailblazer, I believe. Finds a concussion, at the very least finds some information. And now in the 3v3 situation, these sheriffs ringing here on the B site. Just back and forth we go. Is it not Han able to find one? Diana for a third. It leaves it all up to Athena here on the Killjoy. No utility to work with the Nanoswarm, too far away to find a value with. And I guess does have one in the back pocket. Nothing set up on the site though as a Guardian shots. Gonna look for the heads, but unable to find them for now. Shopify playing perfectly around the clock here. Athena, I mean, there's not much you can do here except to do some damage, and well, they're not going to give it to him, but I guess we can call that one a thrifty.
What is going on with Diana? What are they feeding her, dude? This girl is just going absolutely mental this game. 23 and 11 right now, finding every piece of impact possible. That was a thrifty round. I don't think it gave them the little call out because they had a bit of investment, but for the most part, it was just sheriffs. So really tough spot to be in for TSM now, because they will still have money here, but when you're down rounds, you need that momentum. That's really what you're working towards. So we find ourselves in probably one of the biggest pivot points of this half. If TSM can win this, they'll set their economy in a pace to tie us up. But if Shopify come out on top, they could easily bowl their way into a map 2 pressure very squarely with this TSM squad. They do have the lockdown for the retake, and they do have a lot of spacing towards mid. Cath actually pushing towards elbow, but you won't find anything just quite yet.
And Cath has done such a good job finding space behind the enemy team and is looking to do it here. Han is holding that angle to make sure nobody peeks on through B, and they should be spotted. No, the timing is just perfect. Cath will do it again, puts TSM a player ahead. Unfortunately, low HP onto 1, so could be quickly a 4v4 as Diana takes a fight for 2. It's Cath. Close out the frag. So a couple of low health members for the side of TSM, but there's still two players ahead.
That they are. Shopify in a nice spot here. They're already grouped up, 3 players strong in towards the elbow. Leah Panda holding passive though. TSM doesn't want to take these fights. They're fine giving away this space because with the superior odds, they can work strong in the retake. However, players low. No Sage, no Sky, no heal potential. So if Dodonut or Emily just get hit once, this could go horribly wrong. However, all those wounded players won't be pressured, at least not immediately. Instead, it's Kath in the hot seat. No, Dodo swings, shut down.
No
Kath
way.
falls as well. There's no shot. Lori comes out on top of that. Now it's a 3v3. Now it's Emily with 1 HP on the retake.
Yeah, and I mean, Lori just moving forward.
Oh my
finds
God.
another. It's the low HP. Emily will finally be traded back, but Shopify put in such a great spot now because of that. The lockdown is available for Athena should she choose to use it. It's all up to Panini. The shot's not going to land on the opposite side of the wall. The utility is there. The shots are on target, and Athena gets caught with her weapon away, and Shopify will steal away the round.
Oh, the worst possible timing for Athena, but oh my God, did Lori go huge? The second kill, just absolutely unreal. That shouldn't be around in any world where it's winnable, but TSM is still playing their full spread. Their killjoy was committed quite deep, so they didn't have the opportunity to use that lockdown initially, because if you place it wall, it can be wall bangable. And this is the round we were setting up as the most important one, and TSM just lost it. The economy pivots strongly with Shopify, and that's also one that's got to be a bit of a tilter. Every way that round should have been yours. 5 versus 3, you know exactly where they are, still can't come out on top. Really worst case scenario for TSM here is Shopify this time looking to just pick it up straight in towards A. Sky utility just creates all the space they could ever hope for.
Bomb grenade out.
Seekers, the spot Kath out, and well, Diana just around the corner. Able to find that frag there. Emily now in a tough spot. Cloudburst comes on through, dashes in. One more right click, I believe, will make it. 2. Diana will fall. A weapon will be retrieved, and Emily, I believe, walks away unscathed. Took a bit of damage. The TSM still down a player here, but trying to battle back for a thrifty round of their own as Dodo hops on the board. It's Jet v Jet, and Lori comes out on top. Still a player behind with knives to work with on the side of Shopify with the Viper's Pit. The spike goes down, and Dodo probably not long for this world. A 1v2 with the rifle in hand. Unfortunately, working against the clock once more. Lori gonna swing the corner. Not able to find that shot there. The reload. So a completely full magazine for 2 frags to come on through. KP spotted. No way. Dodo, the shot's not gonna land for the last. They would have taken a 4K on the round. 11-6 now the score line. But hey, at the end of the day, Mimi, that was a really poor buy coming out from TSM. So now they're going to have themselves some weapons.
Yeah, they're going to take attack off of that round, which I really like. This is their opportunity to turn the ship around because kind of their last buy. It's a point where it becomes do or die. And out of the Shopify Rebels, I did like the play there. Where Diana was positioned, it felt almost like, I know we were watching in that last game changes a lot of GX3. It feels like how Jan plays the Reyna, where she's just like full commit to that flank watch, fully chilling out, not overdoing it. Like, there's not many Reynas that play that style, I feel like. I think of Calypso as well when I think of that. But, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty effective. Unfortunately for Diana, it didn't fully swing her way. The trade did come through in the weirdest way possible from Emily, but it got the information, right? Shopify Rebels were ready for that flank. Dodonut was going huge to try and tie things up, but didn't happen. Now, again, we get to see a look where TSM has full weapons. And we get to see Emily on the op. She's such a strong opper, but the economy just hasn't been working towards it quite yet. Now she gets her opportunity to shine, and she's a player you can just kind of put in one position, trust her completely as that anchor. You don't have to full commit off of her, but it looks like they might be playing it a bit of a different way. 2 players postured towards hulls, at least initially, so that's telling me maybe we get some aggression. Emily holds the line, Kath pushes up, claims a lot of space, and I like it, because it feels like they're really losing out on the map control game right now.
And well, this should be the round that they do get
Blocking sight.
some of fruits of the labor. There is nobody on the opposite side, so it's going to be a long flank coming through from Kath. We'll see. It looks like Athena slowly bringing up the rear as well to join the Reyna as Leah. Hunter Shuri only able to find a tag, so 80 damage onto Diana. Scary spot to be. Could be healed up, obviously. On the Reyna, if you find that Devour, it's a pretty good spot to be as well. But there's the heal coming out from KP to top off. There's the Empress online as well. So another 5v5 retake. This time it's Shopify with the spike down. As Kath still works the flank. Athena has since made it back with the team. The dismiss to get away just to get out of dodge. As Han the first to fall. The lockdown, it's peeking out too much. And Diana, I mean, what can't she do? It's the frags. It's taking down utility. It's staying alive in this round. It's everything to try and push Shopify to map point here. And well, TSM, they're running out of time. They're able to find a couple of frags in response, but KP right there to battle Panini. Thriving inside the pit for 3. Leaves it all up to Athena, but there's no time. There's no health. Well, there's no way that TSM battled this one back.
I fully saw why TSM was trying to play the retake there. If you notice the Viper wall that they were rocking for TSM, it was very deep, actually trying to hold for back castle. We know that most defenders like to play those positions, kind of swing in and out, make themselves a nuisance, but that wall denies it. However, the issue that they didn't fully think of was that Killjoy lockdown could be destroyed. Diana killing that lockdown completely changed the tide because Panini could chill in her pit, and, well, that's exactly what Panini did, completely having a great time within that ultimate, able to shut down, I think, 4 in the end. And now it's match point. Money's tough for TSM, and Shopify looking quick in towards this A site.
Yeah, they know. Just run it down just like that. As Lori finds the first, it's KP right behind to find the next. TSM cut down to their last 2 as the Vipers pit across the map. Unfortunately, not going to get a whole lot of value, leaving it all up to Kath here in a 1v5 situation. Hunter's Fury, everything being thrown at the Reyna. The Hunter's Fury goes wide only for a moment. A team ace to close